It's time to get ready for our mid-Unit 8 quiz that we're going to have on Thursday. And so on number 1, and the first page, we're just simplifying using the laws of exponents. And so on number 1, I see there's everything raised to the 0th power on bottom, so that's going to cancel out and just become 1. It's insignificant. And then we're going to combine anything on top we can. So I've got 2. A squared is by itself. I'll cross out as we go. We got b squared and another b, so b cubed, and then c squared. And that's the answer to number 1. On number 2, the h is going to be gone, the j is going to be gone, and so I'm going to combine where I can. I'm going to go ahead and distribute this 4, so we got 2 to the 4th, j to the 4th, and k to the negative 12th. And so on top I've got 2 to the 1st and 2 to the 4th, which make 2 to the 5th. So done with that one. J to the 5th, k to the negative 11th, and then on bottom I've got 2 h to the 4th, k to the negative 4th. And so now to finish this thing, these two are both negative exponents. They're going to switch spots, k to the 11th on bottom, k to the 4th on top. And then this is 2 to the 5th over 2 to the 1st. That's going to be 2 to the 4th, which is 16 on top. J to the 5th on top, h to the 4th on bottom, and there's more k's on bottom. 11 minus 4 is 7. On number 3, I'm going to go ahead and combine anything I can on the top, so that's going to be h to the 1st, j to the negative 3rd, and k to the 3rd. H is gone, so 2 to the negative 4th, and k to the 8th. So as 2 to the negative 4th has a negative exponent, it's going to flip to the top, and 2 to the 4th power is 16 on top. H is by itself. This j to the negative 3rd is going to flip to the bottom, j to the 3rd on bottom, and k to the 5th on bottom, because 8 minus 3 is 5. On number 4, we're going to go ahead and combine where we can, and so we've got 2. That's done. I've got p to the negative 2nd, q to the 5th, and r to the 6th. We'll distribute this 3, p to the 3rd, q to the 12th, r to the 12th. This p to the negative 2nd is going to flip to the bottom, and everything else is good. So we're going to have 2, p to the 5th on bottom. There's more q's on bottom. 12 minus 5 is 7. And then there's more r's on bottom as well. R, 12 minus 6 is 6. Number 5, cancel out what I can. I've got zeros right there. I'm going to go ahead and distribute 2 to the negative 4th, x to the 12th, z to the 16th. And so that's going to be 2 to the negative 3rd, x to the 16th, y to the negative 1st, and z to the 19th. On bottom, I've got 2, x to the 4th, y cubed, and z to the negative 3rd. All right, then we'll combine everything together. So this negative 3rd is going to go on the bottom, and 2 to the 3rd, 2 to the 1st is going to make 2 to the 4th, so we're going to have 16 on bottom. So done with those. There's more x's on top. 16 minus 4 is 12. This y to the negative 1st is going to go to the bottom. That's going to be y to the 4th on bottom. And then z to the negative 3rd will go to the top, and that's going to be z to the 22nd. Number 6, this first one's good. I'm just going to go ahead and reorder it, x, y, z order. On bottom, that's going to become y cubed, x to the 6th, z to the 9th. And so when we combine them, I'm going to have x to the 6th, y's cancel out, and z to the 13th. And so that's going to be 5 more x's on bottom, so x to the 5th, y cubed on top, and z to the 12th on bottom. All right, moving along number 7. We're multiplying and dividing on these next few, and so we don't need a common denominator. We just need to factor everything and then cancel out anything that matches on top and bottom. So the first one, there's 4 terms, and so I'll go ahead and rewrite it so I can show my work. So we're going to start by grouping it. So we're going to split it into 2 groups, and then GCF. So we're going to take out x squared, and we're left, 2x squared, and we're left with x plus 1. Over here we're going to take out a 3, and we're left with x plus 1. These are in common. I'm going to put my answer over here as I go. These are in common, so they're going to come out together, and we're left with 2x squared plus 3. And so that's the first part. This one, I try and think what multiplies to negative 15 and adds to 2. That's going to be 5 and negative 3, and we're dividing by 1, and so it's x plus 5 and x minus 3. And then on the next one, that's difference of squares, x plus 3, x minus 3. And then the last one, we can take out a 2, and we're left with 2x squared plus 3. Now to cancel out, there's no x plus 1s on bottom. 2x squared plus 3 will cancel out. X minus 3 will cancel out. We're left with x plus 1, x plus 5 over 2, x plus 3. Number 8, we are dividing, so this one's going to end up flipping. And then it's going to become multiplication. So on the first one, I'm going to go ahead and put my answer over here as I get it. We can take out a 7x, and we're left with x plus 3. X plus 7 is going to go to the top. Down here, what multiplies to negative 35 and adds to 2? And so that's going to be 7 and negative 5, and we're dividing by 1. And so x plus 7 and x minus 5. And then on this one, I can take out x squared, and we're left with x plus 3. So x plus 3 cancels, x plus 7 cancels. I've got one more x on bottom than top, so that cancels and just becomes 7 over x, x minus 5. On number 9, again, we're dividing, so I'm going to end up flipping these 2 fractions. Or not those 2 fractions, there's 2 sides of that fraction. This is the sum of cubes, which reads a cubed plus b cubed goes to a plus b, a squared minus a times b plus b squared. And so it's going to turn into x plus 3, x squared minus 3x plus 9. And then we got the 4x on top. On this one, I can take out a 9, and I'm left with x plus 3. And then that one, I can take out a 3, and so I'll show that work down here, and we're left with x squared minus 3x plus 9. Nothing multiplies 9 and adds negative 3, so that's going to be it. And so that cancels out, that cancels out. I've got 4x over 9 times 3 is 27. That can't be simplified any further, so it's done. Moving along, number 10, same situation, and we got to divide over here, so we're going to flip this fraction over at the end. This first one is going to be grouping, and so I'm going to group it together, and I'll just go ahead and show the work above it. I'm going to take out x squared, and we're left with 2x plus 3. I can't take out anything from this one, it matches, so I'm just going to put an invisible 1. I'm going to show it right there. So the 2x plus 3's are together, they come together as 1, and we're left with x squared plus 1. All right, next one, we want to know what multiplies to 28 and adds to 11. So that's going to be 7 and 4, and we're dividing by 1. So x plus 7, x plus 4. 4x squared plus 9, can't do anything with that, and so that's going to just stay as is, and it moves to the top because of that division. Next one, we want to know what multiplies to 24 and adds to 10. That's going to be 6 and 4. And so x plus 6 and x plus 4. 16x to the fourth minus 81. That's going to be difference of squares, which is 4x plus 9. Sorry, squared. 4x squared plus 9. 4x squared minus 9, which that's going to go further to be 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3. And then we can take out an x, and we're left with x plus 7. And so 2x plus 3's cancel out. X squared plus 1, it looks like it stays. X plus 7 cancels out. X plus 4 cancels out. 4x squared plus 9 cancels out. So on top, we're just left with x squared plus 1. On bottom, we've got x plus 6, 2x minus 3, and the x.